Yes, sir.
Hit that air raid sign. It's time for Monday Morning Fallout. Monday Morning Fallout, of course, when we overreact to the football weekend. It was a vast, wide-ranging weekend of football around the state. It started Thursday, ended Saturday night, really. There was Cowboys, but they won. Spoiler.
They won very easily over
Spoiler,
the very
if you've
terrible
DVR'd
49ers.
If you've DVR'd it, spoiler, they won.
Yep.
In any case, let's start with my 3 big thoughts.
All right.
Thought number 1, proving ground. I think that the big storyline for us heading into Week 8 of the Texas high school football season was that there were a number of teams that we had our eye on that we said, we think you're good.
Yeah.
We think you've got a chance to be good, but we need you to show us right now.
Yeah, you've passed at least one test so far.
Yes.
Let's see if you can keep it going.
And there were mixed results, I think.
Yeah.
Some of them we didn't even know were going to be tested.
Yeah.
And we ended up getting it. I'm referring to Canyon Lake over Bernie.
That's pretty interesting.
That's a really interesting result, and that is upon kind of marinating it a little bit. I think all that doesn't lower my opinion of Bernie. I think what it does is elevate my opinion of Canyon Lake. That's where I'm at on it.
Sure.
Like, I don't think that this removes Bernie from the list of contenders. What I think this does is just adds another one to the list. It's like, okay,
it really just makes that region more complicated, which is, fun for us, not so fun for those teams.
Right. So that was one team we definitely had our eye on and said, all right, we need you to go out and do it. There was a spotlight game last week. It was Schertz, Clemens, and Smithson Valley.
Hey.
And that...
What a win.
That was really impressive.
Yeah.
Because the way that they were able to do it defensively was really impressive for Clemens.
Yeah.
We had questions about them.
Yeah.
I was not buying them yet. Not because I didn't think that they were a good team, but because they hadn't played anybody that I thought could beat them. I thought Smithson Valley could beat them.
Yeah.
They did not.
Yep.
Schertz Clemens came out and took the fight to them. They played great defense in this game.
Yep.
I thought it was really funny that after the game, Fox Sports Southwest had reporter Sarah Merrifield down there, and she was talking to Jared Johnston after the game. And he mentioned, he was like, 44, Trevon Moore Woodard. He's like, he gave me nightmares all week because it's like he
does everything.
Because he does everything. He returns kick, he returns punts. He they find a way to get him the ball in all different kinds of ways. And so they withstood that. Yeah. And for me, now we start talking about Clemens as a contender. They weren't there before that. That one game, all of a sudden, now they have the resume. Now they go play Converse Judson. And the funny thing about proving yourself last week is that I don't need them to beat Judson.
Right.
They don't have to beat Judson.
They're going to be a problem now in the playoffs.
Yes.
You know
now,
that.
I don't. Yeah. I think it would behoove them to not get blown out.
Right.
But
hey, and if you want to go shock the world,
absolutely
do it.
On the other hand, we had Conroe Oakridge, also undefeated,
facing a nice run,
facing a tough team in the Woodlands.
Yeah.
And I think they played the toughest team they played so far.
Right.
And the toughest team beat them.
Yeah.
That the Woodlands was the better team.
Yeah.
And so, for me, Week 8 was all about proving yourself. Some teams did, some teams didn't. Now we'll recalibrate our expectations. Thought number 2, a simple question.
Okay.
The simple question, Max, is the Big 12 good?
Yes. According to the S&P Plus, it's one of the better conferences.
I'm not certain that's correct. Because I look across the Big 12, and first and foremost, we have to throw out Kansas. Okay?
Right. Terrible.
Kansas is maybe the worst FBS program in the nation. They're
objectively horrible.
They're really bad.
Yeah.
Okay. And we saw that. That was on full display against TCU. By the way, a gentleman's cover. The cover, the line was 38.5. They returned up, or who was it? It was who's TCU's outstanding return man? Turpin. Thank you, Kavontae Turpin. Kavontae Turpin returns a punt to go up 43-0, and they took their foot firmly off the gas. That was a gentleman's cover for TCU. Anyway, you look around the Big 12, and we are pretty sure TCU's really good.
Yep, but they're probably going to lose to Iowa State this week, so.
We think Oklahoma's good. They got pushed by Kansas State big time.
Their defense is a problem. Offense is great. Defense is a problem.
We think Oklahoma State's good.
Yeah, that was a weird game in Austin.
Right?
Yeah.
We think West Virginia's good.
Right. Yeah.
We
held on.
think Iowa State is good?
Iowa State is good. We don't think anything. Iowa State is good.
My point is that there are so many teams in this conference that I still don't know what to think about them. Now, it's one of two things, because I do think that the Big 12 is largely a victim of parity.
Yeah.
Okay. I think that a lot of the teams are pretty close to one another. Even the really bad teams, quote unquote really bad teams, like Baylor, right? We think that they're all pretty close. And the problem is, I wonder if the parity is going to be mistaken for mediocrity. The entire reason I bring this up is that I think if you're TCU, one loss kills you. There's no way that a one-loss team from the Big 12 is going to get in. I think I really into the playoff. I really don't think that's going to be the case. Fair or not, but I think that right now TCU, if they want to make the college football playoff, they have to run the table. They have to be 13-0 and leave them no chance.
I don't think that's true.
You don't think that's true?
No, I think we can get a one-loss team in.
I'm not sure.
I am not because the Big 12. It's because every other conference is crap too.
Maybe,
you know?
maybe, but I can also see
the ACC is.
I can also see the Big 10 getting 2 in.
Right, I do too. But I think the ACC is falling apart. I think the way the SEC is going to play out, it's going to be tough for them to get 2 in. The Big 10 could be that way, probably not because of the West, and the Pac-12 just eliminated itself with USC losing to Notre Dame.
I think
so.
I think I'm worried.
I'm worried, but I think a one-loss team
worried
gets
that
in.
if
the problem is I think everyone's going to lose at least 2.
So there you go. I don't know. I want to know, do you think the Big 12 is good? Because I'm really not sure.
I think they're better than in some of the other conferences. So.
I agree with that.
Yeah.
I think they're better than the MAC.
Yeah.
Thought number 3. A moment for coaches. We spend a lot of time on this program talking about players.
Mm-hmm.
But there were 3 pretty significant coaching milestones this weekend that I think bear mentioning. Kirk Martin at Manville won his 100th game as the head coach of the Mavericks. I think he's done it in 7 years, which is absurd. So congratulations to Coach Martin on his 100th win. Chris Ketting at Canadian became the winningest coach in that program's history. Congratulations to him. And then I think we mentioned it Friday, but the Texas High School Football Hall of Fame announced their class, and 2 outstanding coaches, Phil Danaher, our good buddy, as well as Bob Shelton from Buda Hayes Consolidated, are going into the Hall of Fame. And so as a result, we spent a lot of time talking about great players, and rightfully so. But I think that it's important to recognize milestones in the coaching when we see.
You could also throw Coach Wood and Coach Buchanan out at Aledo into the mix as a joint effort over many years of becoming the longest district winning streak in state history.
Yes, along 72 in a row, something like that?
Yeah, 72 in a row, overtaking Westlake, I believe. Yeah, so a run of dominance not seen before in district play.
Yes, so congratulations to all of them, well-deserved. 3 helmet stickers. A helmet sticker for West Mesquite linebacker Darian Forge. 11 tackles, 2 blocked punt return touchdowns. 2 blocked punt return touchdowns. He also blocked one of the punts.
Yep.
He had a sack and a forced fumble.
He was
remarkable,
a terror.
Pretty remarkable. Did you see what East Texas Baptist quarterback Brian Baca did? Did I see that this was his first start?
I don't know if it was his first start. I know he hasn't started many, if it's the case, but this was pretty impressive.
He throws for a school record.
Yeah.
659 yards and 7 touchdowns.
Yeah, that's pretty
for
good.
East Texas Baptist, the pride of Pittsburgh.
Yeah, we got used to seeing that in Pittsburgh.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
A helmet sticker for young Brian Baca. And a helmet sticker for Pearland Dawson kicker Claire Jeffress.
Pretty awesome.
If you have not seen this, Claire Jeffress, we knew that Pearland Dawson had a female kicker.
Yeah.
But in their win over rival Pearland, she made all 5 extra points and
the game winner.
Kicked the game-winning 30-yard field goal in the final moments. Ice through the veins.
And named homecoming queen on the same night.
Oh, yeah. There's also that. She was
Not
also the
a bad
homecoming
night.
queen. So I believe that's the first time we've given a girl the a
helmet sticker.
So a helmet sticker.
Well-deserved.
Well-deserved to Claire
Yeah.
Jeffers of Pearland Dawson. Awesome story there. 3 teams to watch. We mentioned them. Canyon Lake. This is an interesting team because I think in that district we've paid so much attention to Bernie, and we've paid, I think, to a lesser extent, attention to Fredericksburg. But here's this third district, or this third team, that Canyon Lake. What's interesting, though, is that I think this district could be really good and get swept out in the first round. Because you look at because they match up with the Gatesville, La Vega, China Spring, Liberty Hill district.
It's gonna be
weird.
It's gonna be a minefield for
13
everyone
and 13 and 14 in that bye district in 4A Division 1 is going to be a minefield. But in any case, watch out for Fisher Canyon Lake. Watch out for Kilgore College.
This was a big upset.
This was a big upset as they take down Trinity Valley 37.
Number 2 in our college heat index.
37-31. Great win for Kilgore College. Watch out for them.
Yeah, what were they? 31? 30?
Yeah.
31 over a 2?
Mm-hmm.
Not bad.
Not bad at all. And watch out for Diboll. Another squad that I think is flying under the radar, but the Lumberjacks are suddenly 6-1 on the year. They drub Huntington as they probably should have. They are 6-1 on the year. Their one loss was to Newton. Okay.
Yeah.
Pretty good loss. But this is a pretty decent squad. They've got 2 tough tests yet left. They got a week off, and then they play at Rusk, and then they're home to Jasper to close out the season. So it's a tough stretch. But right now, Diboll looking very good for the Lumberjacks, and this is after a year last year where they went just 2-9. So
pretty good turnaround.
Watch out for the Lumberjacks. 3 teams to worry about. Let's worry about Lancaster.
Well, that was a tough loss.
It's a tough loss, and suddenly
they're in deep trouble.
They have to win out.
Yeah.
Now, they're going to be favored in the rest of their games, but they have to win out, and they need tiebreakers to break their way if they're just going to make the playoffs.
Oh.
This was a team that we thought could be a state title contender, and they are now on the ropes. The margin of error is gone for them to make the playoffs. So worry about Lancaster. North Texas.
Ooh, that was bad.
So we said, it's kind of funny. I kind of feel like I nailed, even though my prediction was horrifyingly wrong, I kind of feel like I nailed the guts of the prediction, which was Florida Atlantic is a team that has to play from ahead. Well, that wasn't a problem.
Nope.
Florida Atlantic rung up 800 yards of total offense
They were
in
like
North Texas.
waving from the car ahead.
Oh my god!
That's how far ahead they were playing.
And it's like, I understand maybe there's a letdown after a big emotional win over UTSA, but that was not a letdown. That was a thud.
It was bad.
North Texas is a team to worry about. And Katy Seven Lakes. I had a bit of a tweet storm about this yesterday, but they lose to Katy Taylor on a last-second field goal, and suddenly Seven Lakes is in danger of missing the playoffs.
Yeah.
If Katy Taylor, not to get into the whole machinations of it, but if Katy Taylor makes the playoffs and Seven Lakes doesn't, that would bump Cinco Ranch up to Division I, which, remember, Cinco Ranch won Region 3 last year. They were a semifinalist last year. So, all of a sudden, things open up, and you're talking about then a team like Fort Bend Bush or Friendswood, who's quietly having a great year without Tyler Page.
Mm-hmm.
There are a lot of things that go into there. Seven Lakes is a team to, I don't want to say worry about, but keep an eye on their playoff kind of run, because we know that Region 3 of 6A Division 1 is going to be absolutely loaded. If you add Cinco Ranch to that, it gets to almost borderline unfair. Yeah. So watch out for that. And that is Monday Morning Fallout.